Hello, this is Jordan, and today I'm going to walk you through the Rosie app and show you an overview of the features, how to handle your account, how to make changes, view calls in your conversations inbox. So let's get started by walking through the initial onboarding. It all starts with training the Rosie agent, and the best way to do that is with your Google business profile and your website. So this account we're looking at here is already fully trained, but when you're in here, it's very easy to come in here and gate repair, find your business this way. Once you've identified your business, you can select it, hit training, takes about 30 seconds, and that is how Rosie initially learns about your business. It goes through your Google business profile and your website, and you'll be able to add more information later. Once the initial training is complete, our onboarding will walk you through a few questions to get set up with the basics of your account. So first, it'll ask to make sure that we have the right information, the right phone number, name, and so on. You'll then be able to identify the core services of your business. You'll be able to make an impact on the agent profile, what voice you want, how quickly you want Rosie to speak, if you want any background noise, and other options. Here you'll get to a greeting that you can personalize. So how would you want Rosie to answer the phone for you, and what's the first sentence you want her to say to your callers? Here we'll get into a bit later on the different options you have around taking messages, but this sets it up initially for you. And really importantly, you want to set up notifications so that when a call comes in and is handled by Rosie, you are notified. You can have an email notification, text notification, send it to multiple people, and so on. And eventually you'll get to this page, which shows you some of the premium features that we'll take a look at in a minute. And when you get to this page is the first time you'll see your Rosie phone number here. This is the number that you'll eventually forward your business calls to. And what you can do at this stage is pick up your phone and give it a try. So very straightforward training on your Google business profile and website. You answered a few questions, and here Rosie is now set up as an initial phone agent that's able to handle phone calls. You can give it a call and give it a try, ask questions, and know that you'll be able to continue to customize and tailor it later on in the account. All right, once you get into here, it shows you information about how to forward calls. The way Rosie works is you have your Rosie phone number, then you have your existing business phone number, and when you want Rosie to answer the phone, you simply forward calls from your business phone number to your new Rosie number. We have a bunch of information on how to do that here, and of course our support team is always very happy to help you get that done, depending on if you're using a cell phone or a landline or any other option. All right, so let's start taking a look at the agent settings. This is how you can control how Rosie answers the phone and the different features that you want her to be able to do. So the business information tab right here, this is where we show what we know about your business. And of course, here's where you can make an impact on what Rosie knows. You'll notice here we can show you which pages on your website are being looked at. Here's basic information like your core services. This agent knowledge section allows you to provide more information than we have from just the website. Business hours, service areas. So of course, if you're a local business, this really matters. You can make sure that Rosie knows where you work and where you don't work. If we continue on to the agent profile, this is where you can impact things like Rosie's voice, Rosie's name, how she answers the phone, if there's any background noise. And down here under languages, you can also enable Spanish. The greeting allows you to determine how you want Rosie to answer the phone, and the alternative greeting down here allows you to change that greeting based on the time of day. So if you want Rosie to answer the phone one way during business hours and a different way during off hours, here's where you can do that. FAQs are really powerful because they allow you to identify common questions in your business and then have Rosie answer them exactly the way you want. So imagine you're hiring an employee and you want to tell them when someone asks about X, Y, or Z, this is the exact answer we want to be provided to the caller. That's what this FAQ section allows you to do. And what we always encourage people to do is listen to the calls in your conversations recordings. And when you hear the same question come up over and over again, that's a perfect opportunity to add it as an FAQ. Okay, next up is message taking. So Rosie's able to take messages for you and then notify you when she's taken a message. But sometimes we want to allow for different scenarios. So if a totally new customer is calling, that's one type of a call and a message, compared to if someone is ready for an estimate, let's say. So here is where you can identify scenarios, and Rosie will listen to trigger words like estimate or visit, and then make sure that she takes the information that you really need, like the address, are they an existing customer, what type of service they're interested in. Spam filters are pretty self-explanatory, but also great that Rosie can block out things like 800 numbers or sales calls, and you can also add numbers to the blocked list manually. Appointments, also really powerful. We have two types of appointments. We have appointment links, and we have direct scheduled appointments. So an appointment link allows Rosie to send a text message to the caller with a link on where they can go book on their own online. So right here, you can just put in a scheduling link, and this is the copy that the caller will receive over text. And when Rosie is asked to set up a appointment, easy. She just sends them a text message, they click on it, they open the page themselves, and they book on their own. The alternative is Rosie can take a look at your calendar, identify openings, and then book directly on your calendar. That requires an integration, which we can get into in just a minute. Okay, text the link. This is a great feature that allows Rosie to send text messages based on the context of the conversation. So let's say, for example, you want to provide directions, and let's just do that right here, like this. And I'll put in the Google Maps link, and then I'll make sure to hit publish. And moving forward, when a caller asks about directions, Rosie will offer to send them a text message with a link to your Google Maps location. You can also set up different scenarios based on the context of the conversation. Call transfers, also really powerful feature. We have three types of transfers. So Rosie can handle a lot of phone calls, but oftentimes a lot of our users want the ability for Rosie to transfer the call to a human when needed. We have three ways to do that: cold, warm, and waterfall. So a cold transfer, Rosie just asks who they want to talk to and she transfers them over, straightforward. A warm transfer allows Rosie to give that phone number a call, make sure that you or a team member is available. Once she confirms that you're available, only then will she transfer the call. If not, she'll come back to the caller and say, unfortunately, no one's available. Let's continue the conversation here. And waterfall is for businesses that have really important phone calls that they can't miss, and they want to set up what we call a waterfall of transfer numbers. So first it'll try one number. If that person's not available, then they'll try the next one on the waterfall and the next one, and so on. This is great for like emergency services, water restoration that gets calls at night about a flood in like a commercial property, something where you really need to make sure these calls are answered. Custom training, you can upload some PDFs. Launch instructions kind of reiterates how to get Rosie onto your phone. And then this last thing that I want to cover, Rosie can also be put on your website. So all the information that we know about your business, and Rosie can provide information over the phone, she can also do that right on your website. And we have two options for that. We have a free version, which is a website chat. And then we have an upgraded version called website texting that takes the conversation from the website and turns it into a text conversation on the person's phone. So depending on what's right for you, you can learn more about it here and then choose one. But we encourage everyone to do this, especially the free version to get started. You install this code on your website and you're ready to roll. All right, the conversations inbox shows you about the calls that are coming in. There's a recording for each one. You can star them. You can rate it if it's a good call or a bad call and give us feedback. Here's the transcript. On the right side, there's information about the call itself. You can add notes to it. And the inbox has some cool features like filtering and searching and so on. You can take control of your account here with your notifications, your users, your billing. This is where you cancel this is where you can upgrade to annual, all types of options there. All right, that was a good, quick first look at the Rosie admin. Thanks very much. If you have questions, just hit up our support in the bottom right over here. We're always available for you. Thank you very much.